AITA for yelling at my husband when he ate some of my chocolate and making him drive across the city to replace them. I am 8.5 months pregnant and driving sucks. So my mom drives me around because my husband is working huge hours to get ahead before the baby comes. Last month she drove me to my favorite chocolate store and I stocked up on my favorite flavors. The store has dozens of flavors of chocolate individually wrapped in colorful foil so you can tell the flavor. The store is about an hour's drive away from our home. My husband knows my favorite flavor. Half the bag was originally that flavor, but by now it's just even with the others. He came home from work yesterday and after supper we were going to sit and watch TV. I waddled over to the couch and asked him to please bring me 2 of my chocolates. He did, and he grabbed a few for himself. No problem there. He came back to the couch with chocolate in his mouth. When he kissed me I knew what flavor he took. He admitted he took the stracciatella ones. My favorite. I got kind of upset and he said it was no big deal, I could go with my mom and get some more. Yes, this company sells their chocolate everywhere, but that flavor I've only ever seen this flavor in their store. I asked if he has been eating that flavor a lot and his face told me everything I needed to know. I yelled at him that it's not like it's easy for me to sit in a car for 2 hours. He said he would go out right now and replace them. He hit a couple of drugstores and a couple of grocery stores. They all told him the same thing. So he drove across town and came back with a big bag of just that flavor. While he was gone I called my mom and she said I need to calm down because my hormones are making me crazy. I apologized to my husband, but he is still grumpy that he drove around for hours just to get me chocolate. I think he should know better than to eat my favorite flavor. I know this isn't as big a problem as some of the other stuff here. AITA for calling out my husband's coworker's wife for trying to flush a maxi pad down our toilet. I'm still pretty mad at the whole ordeal. My hubsand's coworker and his wife are both mad at us and think I humiliated her, but I think her lack of common sense is what did it. My husband and I recently hosted a cookout at our house for his coworkers. He gets along pretty well with most of them and enjoys hosting. Coworker's wife Julia goes to the hallway bathroom, comes back. I end up going after her and notice the toilet is clogged and starting to overflow. Something large and white is stuck. I use the plunger to unclog it and lo and behold, a very large bloody maxi pad. Julia was the last person to use the bathroom, so I come out and asked her if she tried to flush a pad down the toilet. She got embarrassed and said yes, and I told her she needed to go clean up the mess she made. There was water all over the floor, with particles of her pad and blood everywhere. I asked her if no one ever taught her not to flush a pad. We have a septic tank and they cost thousands to repair. You don't flush pads, especially not the extra large ones. It's not like she tried to flush a panty liner or something. Julia cried and her husband yelled at me. But who does that, especially at someone else's house? Husband's 2 female coworkers came to my defense and pretty much said it was stupid of her to do that. Julia half-assed cleaning up her mess, and her husband quickly left. All of their coworkers think Julia shouldn't have done that, but my husband and his coworker are having a whole feud about it. AITA for calling out my husband's coworker's wife for trying to flush a maxi pad down our toilet. Edit. We have a septic tank. Septic tank repairs here can easily go for around $10,000. Julia has a septic tank. Julia knows better. When I asked if she would flush a pad in her own home, she said no. Julia said she did it because there was no trash can in there, and she didn't want to walk her pad to a different trash can. The trash can from that bathroom was outside being washed because a different coworker got vomit on it. I don't think saving her some embarrassment would be worth paying thousands of dollars to repair. Also, she saw that the toilet was clogged and decided to walk off and leave it for someone else. AITA for saying I don't want to be in pictures at my wedding, as the bride. My fiancé's family never held back on jabs about my nose. My fiancé said he knew they really loved me the moment they started with the jokes. They're the kind of family that loves to make fun of each other. My grandparents used to make comments about my nose that were kind of shitty. Especially because my dad is Jewish. Although I've never known him. And I got the nose from him. In general, I've tried to not be sensitive about it because they don't like sensitive people. Although my history with it and knowing my nose came from my dad, who I don't know, made it a bit harder for me. My fiancé made this comment once, which was supposed to be joking, sweet, where he basically said he was so lucky for my nose because it was the only way he had a chance with me. That comment stayed in my head since. The idea that I'd actually be beautiful if it wasn't for my nose. I've had really bad self-esteem and would go in and out of believing I'm ugly. I started thinking about having a nose job. After we got engaged, I realized if I was going to do it, I should do it before the wedding. He was really supportive of the idea and excited for it. He made some comments about being glad I was losing the beak, something he'd never expressed before I suggested it, which confirmed to me that I needed it. My fiancé loves my new nose. I hate it so much. I feel like I'm staring at someone else's face. I look like any other woman in the world besides myself. I've always struggled with depression, and I was finally in a good place before this. Now I can barely get myself to leave my room for work. My fiancé is really frustrated with me. He thinks I, objectively, look better and I need to get used to it. I know I'll have to, but I've been wearing a medical mask in the house because I can't stand to look at my face. He says this is me sulking like a toddler. But I can't control how I feel. He asked what I was going to do for our wedding and I told him that I don't want to be in any pictures. He freaked out, saying my selfishness was going to get in the way of us having a happy wedding. I didn't want to let this hurt him. So I tried to come up with options like wearing my veil covering my face in the pictures, incorporating a scarf into the outfit, wearing my mask, etc. And he said if I do any of that we might as well not get married at all. That hurt a lot. I can't stand to see myself in pictures like this, and having everybody see my nose the whole day would make this even worse for me. I'm already going to be blaming myself for the fact that I won't have my nose in pictures. I feel like I'm ruining the day for him, but what he wants will ruin it for me. AITA? Edit. I thought I would add a comment I wrote to the post since I've seen a lot of people are very worried about me. Thank you to everyone who's written comments trying to help me. Sorry I haven't responded to a lot of specific people. It's a little bit overwhelming. But I'm reading everyone's comments. Thank you so much to everyone who's given a judgment and advice. Everyone has been so kind to me. At my lowest right now, I really need to get back into therapy. I'm trying to look into getting another nose job to reverse this, but I don't know if any plastic surgeon would be willing, able to give me the beak back. And I'm terrified of getting surgery again. I just want to feel comfortable in my skin again. As much as I know logically I should be able to get used to this over time, I really don't feel I can. Everybody is suggesting we should postpone the wedding, and I think that makes a lot of sense. I don't know how my fiancé is going to feel about that. I love him, but a lot of these comments are making me think more deeply into how he treats me. He's this very sweet guy normally. Introverted. Very smart. Always there when I need him. Etc. But he's not being that guy right now.